so we're offering a 3-month online journey, and we're calling it Evolutionary Relating. And so what does it mean? Like, what's the difference between like evolutionary relating and sort of just being in relationship with the person you're super, super attracted to? And I think there's just a different context in which we view relationships as a vehicle to constantly be new, to constantly evolve, to constantly see the potential of ourselves.
You almost cannot say I do a course to be in relationships. That seems impossible. It's a journey. It's an ongoing journey, and there are some tools and practices on the journey that can at least help illuminate what journey you're on. A relationship somehow develops between two axes, the one of becoming and the one of belonging. So there is a way in which we search for home, for safety, for like landing in our connection, belonging together, which is very primary in a relationship, without which you almost cannot take the other step or the next step. Then, on the other hand, there is this evolutionary calling in us human beings to become something in the world, to grow, to learn, to evolve.
Yeah. So quite simply, the wider the base of belonging, the more you can become. And part of what this course will be about is how to truly increase the breadth of belonging, like how to really find rest, how to get to a deep sense of trust and complete honesty with your partner and the people around you, to enhance the sense of actually everything is okay in this moment and there's a pull to the future. And so part of the practice is finding ways to deal with fear, finding ways to deal with trauma, to look at it, to inquire into it more deeply, and then through that work finding the pinhole into the future where some surprise, some expansion that you didn't even know was possible can come through.
Why spaciousness? Well, one point, spaciousness is completely necessary to actually become present for a nervous system, for a human body to not be busy with past and future and all the trauma and pain and whatever is happening. To actually be present, spaciousness is absolutely necessary. To actually see the partner and not my image of the partner or my habit of how I like to see my partner, spaciousness is necessary, and it is an act of courage. It's a complete act of courage, because it's way more comfortable very often just see my habit and how I think he is and how I like him to be and how I'm disappointed in him sometimes. But to actually stop that screen and look each other in the eye, and often it can be very uncomfortable to just look each other in the eye, because suddenly you realize, whoa, who is this in front of me? And we take so little time to ask that question, who is this in front of me? Who are we? Oh, who am I then? Like these kinds of questions, they are essential for a relationship.
And time changes in intimacy. The pace of intimacy is really, really slow, but so much can happen when you just give yourself an hour or 2 hours or 10 minutes to just open up that space and see what's there.
If you have a fight in the morning with your lover and you go to your work, it influences your day. And how much you try to think yourself out of it, how much you try to work it out yourself, you will not feel resolved very, very often until you have sitting down together and found the way through or with it. And with that, we've been developing and also been offered so many practices that helped us, that guided us, that gave the base and the framework in which to do the research of being in relationship. And that is something that I want every couple to at least know, to have the tools to know what you can do when you really don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, are we still in love? Yes, because there are so many transformational moments where we realize, like, oh my God, like I am super afraid right now. I'm afraid you're going to leave me, and that we are with it together. and that we can look deeply into that spot where there was some ancient fear or ancient hurt, and it bubbles to the surface and it feels like fear and it feels like hurt, and then it moves off, and there's so much more energy after that. There's so much more energy to do work, there's so much more energy to be in love. And I think that's a moment of love where we're actually creating, we're creating love, we're making love in that moment. And there's a true transformational possibility that only can occur when you give it the space, you give it the time, and you give it the focused attention and presence that requires a lot of discipline and a lot of structure.